Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and feel perhaps a buzz in your body? You can't sleep, you're restless, you feel like your body wants to get up and do something. I was feeling that way last night. I literally felt like if I had a treadmill in my house, I would get up and start running on it. Now, I was also having some hot flashes because I'm menopausal here. So all you menopausal women friends out there might be able to relate to that. But I've had this little buzzing thing going on in my body over the last 5 years. I've noticed it. And it just feels like a lot of energy in my body. And one of the things that I have linked it to is sugar before bed. I definitely want to stay away from sugar before bed. But one thing I've started to learn as I've been watching Stefan Burns, the geophysicist who talks about the planets and the sun and how it's impacting the earth and the different energies and things, because I'm really fascinated by that kind of stuff. He is talking about the energy that the sun puts on the earth. There's like these coronal holes in the sun, and it'll spew out this plasma, which becomes a wave, an energetic wave that works its way to the earth within a day or two. And then it will create the different energy in the ionosphere. And you can see it a lot of times while we keep having these aurora borealises come further and further down than they normally should. It's because the sun is pushing these extra electromagnetic waves onto the earth, and it's creating an electrical current in the earth's atmosphere. You've also got natural currents in the atmosphere that happen called Schumann waves, which are going on all the time. It's kind of like the heartbeat of the earth, and its amplitude of that wave has to do with like if there's a lot of electricity in the air from, say, lightning storms, things like that. And these Schumann waves have actually been studied. And so when you put that solar wave on top of the Schumann waves, it kind of amplifies those Schumann waves. It doesn't really change the frequency. It's a pretty steady frequency, but it makes it like louder, stronger, like a stronger heartbeat kind of thing. When that goes on, they've actually studied, a man named Schumann did, back in World War II, I think. He studied solar flares, and he noticed as he started studying them in conjunction with the battles that there would be more battles when these flares would hit the earth. It's documented throughout history. They've documented these intensities of more electromagnetic current in the air around the earth, between the earth and the ionosphere, that creates this extra energy in us. It's like we have a wave of extra boost of energy, or in my case, it feels like this buzz thing that happens. And sure enough, I had one of these last night, and I looked it up, and we were in a G2, a geomagnetic storm of a level 2 on a scale of 1 to 5. And that's not a lot, but it's more than normal. So whenever you have these coronal holes in the sun that push out a coronal mass ejection, depending on how huge it is, it's going to create some more electrical current in the earth, and we are tuned in. That the coherence of our heart, when our heart is perfectly in coherence, it syncs up with the earth's, because we're symbiotic with the earth. And so we get a little boost of energy, and we can use that. A lot of technological advances and improvements have coincided with these solar flares because we have that energy boost. And if we're wired to be creative, then we're going to create something, individuals and as societies, or we could create violence and bad stuff if we're not wired in a positive light. It's similar to the effect of a full moon pulling on the waters in our bodies, and some people react in a negative way. I know several people who have been firemen, and my former father-in-law was a fire chief. Other relatives and people that work in hospitals say when there's a full moon, there really is a lot more crazy stuff happening. So these things adjust people's bodies, and they don't know how to react to them. Some people just react in a negative way, and some people can take it and channel it in a positive way. So yesterday, for example, I pulled out, and I hadn't done this in a long time, and I'm making my own clay off our property, and I mixed up some clay, and I made a little bowl. Actually, I had never made a really successful bowl yet, but yesterday I finally did. And then last night I had that buzz. I could not sleep. kept waking up, and I had stupidly eaten too much ice cream before I went to bed as well. And I woke up and I was just beating myself up over eating too much sugar before I went to bed. But it was even more inordinate than that. And I looked it up, and sure enough, we were in a G2 yesterday. And some of those creative spikes I was having yesterday also kind of coincided with that. So take a look and notice what's going on with your body. It could have more to do with the earth than you think. And there's a few things you can do. Number one, stay away from that sugar. That's always a smart move. Drink more water, ground yourself, go walk barefoot, connect with the earth, get your hands in the dirt like I did with the clay yesterday, and really tap into the earth and sync up with her. Do some meditation, deep breathing, prayer, reflection, and kind of ride out these waves as they pass. We're going to have a lot more of these this year probably, because there's a huge coronal hole that is facing the earth about every 28 days, and it's really shooting out lots of energy at the earth. Y'all take care. God bless.